Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock of the Emerald Planet and Emerald Planet TV. We come to you on a week-to-week basis from Washington, D.C. in the United States as we look around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, the technology, services, and products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And as we have a planet of 9 billion people by 2038 and possibly 12 to 13 billion by the end of this century, how are we going to be able to take care of all these people on planet Earth? And that's what Emerald Planet's all about. We come to you looking at the solutions, the best practices from around the globe as we create the Emerald Planet. Hello, welcome to the Emerald Planet. We're making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And seeing the long-term impacts of climate change. We're glad to have you. Thank you for being with us.
We're talking about soil health and why it's so important and how it's critical for the building blocks of every living being on planet Earth. And we have a gentleman who actually is a specialist in this. He's an engineer, but also a field agricultural research scientist for soil health in the country of India and Maharashtra State. And this is Sachdeva. And Sadir, welcome to the Emerald Planet TV.
It's my pleasure to be here with you, Sam, today.
One of the things that we've been talking about, of course, is the chemistry and the carbon and everything that goes into soil health. But now we're talking about educating the farmers, communities, industries, even the consumers and governments about soil health. Why is it so important that every sector of society in India, the same in the United States, and all 214 countries and territories understand about soil health?
It is important for the entire chain when we talk of communities, consumers, then government bodies and students. They should understand where the food is coming from and what should be the priority of it. The priority today is soil health. And if we start to communicate with these communities, only then we'll be able to take care of soil. Otherwise, we will not be able to.
Right. And that's very, very important. Badamanti, I've been in this area, actually spent about 5 days traveling throughout, visiting farmers and seeing it. It's absolutely a beautiful area of India. Why is the Badamanti area become such a repository as far as research, but also new ideas, new thinking, and new processes for agriculture in India?
So I think there are a lot of KVKs which have been opened up in India, but KVK Baramati is one of the premium institutes in the country. They have got good infrastructure, they have got good staff, and typically it's been backed up by people who are living for agriculture. And they have done a lot of things for the farmer, be it fishery, be it chicken, be it poultry, be it soil health, be it new crop plantation, and it is driven by passion. So that is the reason it is very, very important.
And this photograph, first time I saw this, I said, my goodness, this could be in about 48, 49 of the 50 states of the United States with this pastoral scene. This is absolutely beautiful, and thank you for sharing that with us. But also, we think of India this way as well, as far as the oxen and the fields. But what are some of the key challenges in India for the agriculturalist as well as for the consumer?
See, over here in these slides, what I'm indicating is that we want to improve the soil health in the country, right? And most of the humic substances which are available of high quality are in the liquid form. How do we apply a liquid humic acid substance into the Indian condition? We don't have huge tractors, we don't have trailers. So we have got small and marginal farmers, we have got small land holdings. We don't run on tractors in most of the farms in India. We have got still bullock carts which are prevailing here.
Mhm.
And the main challenge is how do we customize a product for the Indian condition, and how do we ensure that that product goes into the soil and the soil health improves.
Mhm.
So this session basically is nothing but series of pictures wherein we have tried various things to put back organic carbon back into the soil.
Mhm. Now, marginal farmers, we don't normally hear of this term in the United States, although we do have some thousands of them. What is a marginal farmer in India?
A marginal farmer in India is a small farmer having a very less land acre, in terms of less than about say 2.5 acres,
Mhm.
and he has to support his family using that land, whether he grows vegetable or field uh, grains or whatever. So we say he's a marginalized farmer who's supporting his life with a marginal area of land. So India has got a lot of marginal farmers. If you
Right. Now, flood irrigation. This is something back in the old days, water was readily available. Now the aquifers are being, drawn down.
empty.
Why is this a way that you don't want to be doing irrigation?
See, flood irrigation in India, 70% of the country is only on flood today because water in India is still free as per farmer,
Mhm.
right? And there is an investment which goes into putting in drip laterals into the field, and most farmers are not able to support it.
Mhm.
So, with drip, putting humic substances back in the soil is very, very simple. With flood irrigation, how do I add, say, 10 liters of liquid into this field? It becomes a challenge for me. How do
Mhm.
I educate a farmer? How do you put it back?
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Salinity. This is something we talked about earlier. The salts that are coming out of the water, it's being used for irrigation. But we're actually, through this, we're actually killing the very soil that we need. Is that the idea?
exactly. Yeah, because see, there is a huge subsidy in India in terms of fertilizer and inorganic fertilizer, mainly urea. And farmers think adding urea to the soil, they will be able to grow more crop. But urea, basically adding ammonia or nitrogen into the soil in excess, is creating a problem of salinity.
Mm, mm. Now,
We,
just treating the soil and this humic material, tell us a little bit about this and why treat the seed and then, in essence, being applying it in the fields as well.
see, basically, I think as per standard norms, if you look it into it, we need to add 10 liters of humic substance per year per acre into the soil.
Mhm.
So that is the standard which we need to put in. Now, what we tried is that, okay, fine, we have got soya bean, we have got wheat, we have got rice. If we start to treat or coat seeds by the liquid humic substance which we have, we can add roughly about 1 liter by coating of seeds into the soil. Then, so this is not an additional activity for a farmer. Seed he has to sow any which way. If we coat
Mhm.
it with something and give it to him, so there is no additional labor cost for a farmer.
So this is really
Same
a more efficient way of getting the humic material into the soil,
into
and
the
then the
soil without.
fertilizer coating. You're really talking about the humic material being coated in the seeds and then put into the soil. Correct?
Seed and the fertilizer. So fertilizer, when we coat DAP and urea with this humic substance, it coats very, very well. And
Hmm.
there are two advantages. We have added humic substance back into the soil. And the second advantage is that the fertilizer becomes slow release. So
And so what you're
when
doing then is actually, even though the farmers initially will start using the humic material along with the fertilizer, is that you're actually aiding the fertilizer itself to be less inorganic.
it will be inorganic, but it will become slow release. So it will not create salinity into the soil, what
Mhm,
we had shown in terms of the picture above.
mhm.
And
Spraying. Now, this something you think about spraying is very dangerous and harmful to the farmer, him or herself. But this humic material, my understanding is it's not toxic. Is that correct?
lethal dose of humic substance is very, very high. So in fact, humic substance has got this property of being an antioxidant. And even in future, I think what we are talking of humic substance with the agriculture sector, it could find a pharmaceutical application as well. So if the plants are healthy because of humic substance, then if humans start to consume small portion of humic substance, so we should also be healthy. We are also living.
Yeah. So it's one aiding the other. Plant growth. Why is it so important? And what are we looking at?
So what we are looking at is a trial over here. On the right-hand side, we have not used any humic substance, but on these other two beds, we have used humic substance, one by way of drenching and the other one by way of foliar spray. So it indicates that the growth of a corn plant using humic substances is much better compared to the control where we have not used any humic substances.
Now, salinity. This is something that the humic material actually will address itself.
Humic what it does is that the pH levels of the soil, where it is 7.58, and the sodium is there in the soil, that is what the salinity of soil is all about. When we add humic substances to it, humic substance has got this long hydrocarbon chain, and that the sodium which is present in the soil get attached to this humic molecule. So it is bounded, it is closed, it is not available for the plant in terms of sodium. So salinity is not there in the soil, it gets locked. Same thing humic acid does with heavy metals like mercury, lead. It locks them down into the soil.
That's just amazing. I mean, the variety and the positive impacts as far as the humic material is concerned. What are secondary roots? We think about roots, but don't know about secondary roots.
So those very fine white roots which are there on the left hand side, we call them secondary roots. And these are the very fine white roots which we call secondary roots, are primarily responsible of picking up nutrient from the soil and giving it back to the plants.
Leaf size and color. What is that telling us?
It is a chili crop where we have used humic substances at the rate of say about 3 liters at the stage of planting and 3 liters at the stage of flowering. The leaf size has increased to that much. That means that the whole leaf has increased, so more photosynthesis will happen because the leaf mass is there.
Yeah. And also, too, rainfall will take more of that in. Soil compaction is something that we have talked about, and that's something that we need to be sure that we ameliorate. But I want to get to these happy farmers. Let's go quickly through that. We only have about 30 seconds. And this really is the
Right.
question of why are these farmers happy and how are we going to make them even more happy in the future, but also happy customers for the produce. And we got to be quick.
So these are the farmers who were the first lot who tried humic substances on their crop, and they were very happy with the result. What we want is that these farmers should stay happy, and they should get more number of farmers to become happy.
And so the whole thing is, and a happy me right here. I think this was a great photograph as you see these huge tubers behind. How do you stay happy in all this? And you got about 15 seconds to do that.
So a happy farmer, when he smiles at me because of whatever we have shared with him, makes me happy.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. This is Sachdeva, engineer, field agricultural research scientist, soil health in India, Maharashtra State, Madhurabati district. Thank you for being with us as we create the Emerald Planet.